Welcome back. You're watching Sprint and still continuing with our guest, Marwan NEGM, sports analyst. And Marwan will be covering this African competition, the Confederation Cup, where two Egyptian teams were participating. One of them is Haras Al Hudud, which managed to win on an aggregate level 5-1 against the Derebe of Ethiopia, while on the other side, Ismaili failed to move to the 16th round, losing from Sofapaka. I believe it's an aggregate of 4-2. Against this team. So let's start first with Haras Al Hudud, which was a great victory for Haras Al Hudud. But despite being a great victory and despite winning in the first leg 4-0, they drew 1-1. So how would you comment on that?
Haras Al Hudud have been going on with their preparations very good. They managed a good result, a very safe result. It was the best of the four Egyptian teams' results. 4-0, went out, conceded an early goal, went searching for the draw and drew. It was very simple for them. They're a very organized team, and it was simple for them.
Yes. So is it still yet settled which team you're going to face?
Yes, they are playing a Congolese team, I think, Mutima Bembi, I think. Yes.
Which would be a strong team, and
yes, it's a good team, and they'll need to work a lot if they need to win.
We learned that Congo now is competition on the club levels after seeing.
Yes, we saw Mozambique what they've been doing in the last 2 years. So Haras Al Hudud will not have it very easy in the next round.
What is the possibility of having Haras Al Hudud win this competition, especially that Haras Al Hudud is competing with teams like Zamalek and Ahli, winning the Egyptian Cup for several times, and having really this high performance and a number of national team players joining them. So what is the possibility of having such a team, the caliber of the African Champions League, competing in the Confederation Cup?
Well, as you know, these kind of competitions need experience. And I think Haras Al Hudud over the last 3 or 4 years have been gaining this experience. They've played against El Afriqi a couple of times, against Safakis as well. They've played against Algerian teams, against East African teams, South African teams. So they've had the experience over the past few years. And this year, there's no, the Confederations Cup is easy because there is not the big teams. There's no Ahli, there's no Zamalek, there's no Taraghi, there's no Mozambique. Probably their biggest opponents would be NEGM Saheli of Tunisia, who are playing in the Confederations Cup. So they have a good chance this year, like every year. If they can get into the group stage, put some good performances, I think they have a good chance as well.
All right, moving on to Ismaili, and this was sort of a surprise, wasn't it?
It was a very big surprise, really. Ismaili didn't have luck on their side. Remember, they had Hosni Abdurabbu substituted after only 7 minutes. Then, I think after 24 minutes, they had Amr Sulaya substituted as well. You have here 2 international players, Hosni Abdurabbu and Amr Sulaya, 2 internationals playing in midfield, going out after 24 minutes. So this couldn't help the team, and I think they started conceded 3 goals in 11 minutes after the 2 were off the field, and it was very clear the 2 players made a big difference when they went off the field.
So now what automatically happens, especially for Ismaili, once Ismaili wins a match, you'll find Voute is still in his position, no worries. After the first loss, all the eyes is on Voute and if he's going to continue in his position or not.
Yeah, it's like this. We're used to this in Egypt. If the coach wins the match, he's a genius. If he loses, yes, he needs to go. But I think Ismaili fans will always remember that this coach helped them beat Al Ahli. He's had some good performances, and I think none of the boards of any of the teams is thinking now with such circumstances of changing a coach. I think it's not the time, it's not the convenient time for this, to bring a new coach, make a new deal with all the circumstances we know. So they'll keep him, they'll concentrate on the league, they still have a good chance of winning it, and this will be their priority in the next phase.
Right, perfect. But now we've heard that they are going to be focusing more on the Arab competition. So do you think this, because this is something that usually Ismaili competes for, but we never heard a lot of achievements in that space?
Well, there is no news, there is no final news yet about the Arab tournaments, but the Egyptian Football Federation had taken a decision to stop any team from playing in two competitions. So whether they will consider now Ismaili playing in this competition as they are out of it from an early stage is something that may happen. I think this is what El Zamalek will be trying to do also in the next period, because they know now they might not play in any competitions for 2 years or so. So if they're not going to play in African competitions, they want to keep, they want to have a good experience. They want to play in competitions. So I think Zamalek may try to get into this equation and play in the Arab competitions. If they get banned, there is no, remember, there is no final decision yet from CAF.
Yes. What we're seeing now is the first match for Ismaili, and we've used for Ismaili with high performance, definitely, but what actually happened during this situation, especially that the Kenyan teams are not that tough, or are they now?
No, no. And to add to your words as well, this team is the third or fourth team in Kenya. We've all seen Gor Mahia, who has been playing with the Malik and Ahli in the 80s and 90s. We know about Tusker, who's played against Al Ahli twice, I think. We know about, there's a couple of, or three good teams in Kenya. This is not one of them, which is very strange. But again, we're paying the price for not playing till the end. You remember here in Ismaili were leading 2-0 within the opening quarter of an hour. I mean, why not go searching for a third goal, a fourth goal, which would kill the tie? They never did this. All they thought was 2-0 would be convincing, we can defend it there, and it did not happen. So it's, again, this is all about Egyptian teams who get settled for 2 goals or a 1 goal, and we have to stop this. We never know what will happen. As you saw, Ismaili, they had 2 players injured within the opening 25 minutes. Then they had poor performances from the goalkeeper, and this is what you get. You go out of the tournament.
Were there any reactions regarding this heavy loss?
Well, yes, in Ismailia, there've been a lot of big protests near the stadium, and the army has gone there to protect the stadium. And it's again, the fans are getting angry now, and now there are new ways for showing how angry you are. It's not the old way.
Lose a match, go to Tahrir Square.
Yeah, or go to to your club, or go to whatever. So they're paying the price, as I'm saying, for a poor win.
But I don't think this would be an appropriate ideas of having this protest, because it's at the end of the day, it's sports. It's winning and losing. So this spirit should be maintained.
Yes, yes. And Ismaili has been having good performances this year. Remember, they are in second or third place now in the league. They're before Ahli. So they have a good chance of winning the league. And maybe this would help them. It could be a good factor, help them concentrate on the league.
Right, moving from the Confederation Cup to some local competition, and the latest news that we've heard about the resumption of the league, despite what happened in Club Africains and the incident that happened with the invasion of some fans inside the pitch, but the Football Association, along with a decision taken by the Prime Minister and by the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, as well as the Interior Ministry, they announced that the league is going to be resumed starting the 13th of April, despite the situation with tight security, which will be witnessing a blend of the Egyptian army as well as the Interior Ministry and the security forces for the Interior Ministry.
Well, what we heard is the measures would be taken, irrelevant of those measures. But I think it is very positive from Dr. Sharaf to say that we will have the league go on, and we'll have it with fans. Remember this, carrying on with the league with fans is a message, is that we're not going to stop for any kind of reason. We're not going to give up of carrying on with our lives. No, we will not give up. We'll carry on. We'll play our football. We'll have fans in the stadiums. We can't have matches without fans. But in parallel, we have to take the right measures. The right measures, as you're saying, is a blend of security, Ministry of Interior, whatever. This is not our job. These measures would be taken, and we hope we'll have the football back. And you know, football is the life of Egyptians, and if football comes back in, it will repair a lot of things in the life.
It's the exciting side, if we can say, definitely. But now, looking at if the league resumes, which is expected, very much expected, the next week, a couple of days from now, the league, if the league resumes, how would the teams play the consecutive matches, 15 matches in a very short period, or is it going to be extended towards the days of the summer?
Well, now, as if the league starts on the 13th of April as previously planned, the league should end early July.
Yes.
So,
So it will be almost 3 months.
yeah, so yeah, around 3 months. So remember, this time it's very tight. This period includes an international match for Egypt against South Africa here in Cairo.
Yes.
It includes a couple of rounds for the African club competitions, Ahli and Haras Al Hudud.
Yes.
And it includes maybe the group stage matches for those two teams. So there's a lot of, it includes the Olympic teams matches for
Yes.
the Olympics qualifiers. It includes the military team World Cup. So all this is in our agenda. So the period, it's very tight. So the teams have to play within 3 or 4 days.
So it might have been good news from one side that Zamalek, with a huge number of national team members, to be really more focused towards the league from one side, and more focused towards a very important milestone, which is the minimum or the minimal chance of qualifying to the African Cup of Nations.
Yes, this might help us a little, but Zamalek would not have given anything for a place in the round of 16, as you may know. Especially this is their centenary. They would have liked to crown all this with the title that would have put them equal with Al Ahli. It would have been the icing on the cake. But unfortunately, they are not there. But as I'm saying, now it gives them the chance to concentrate in the league. And maybe they can get some good results and win the league.
Perfect. Right, moving on from the local competition towards European leagues, and we'll start now with the Bundesliga. But before we start, we'll go to a report about the latest from the matches and the results. Stay tuned.